Hello, a very good morning to you all from across the globe who are watching me. Good morning. This is the John Lay podcast. We will be coming live every day on this podcast to speak about the various issues and having news and speaking politics and general happenings across the globe. Hi, I welcome you. If you would like to join me, welcome aboard. How do I okay, brand one, and this is okay. Today, as we speak right now in Uganda, what is trending, what's happening is about the fleeing of the president of the National Unity Platform. He fled out of the country. On the 15th of January, 2026, we had general elections in this country, and President Museveni emerged the winner. Now, the president of the National Unity Platform, the leading opposition party as we speak right now, contested the results, contested the victory of Museveni, In 1986, I don't know if I'm really certain, is it either 1995 or 1986, when President Museveni was discontent with the results at that time. Remember, there was an election and a member of parliament. It's alleged that a member of parliament was reached. And after that member of parliament being reached, President Museveni chose to go to the bush. He chose to go to the bush to fight. I welcome you, my viewer. I can see I have one viewer. Welcome. President Museveni went to the bush to fight, and he fought for 5 years. Having fought for 5 years, eventually he took over power. So it's my question. Do we intend to have peaceful transition of power? Do we again go back to the bush? Do we mobilize for an insurrection? What exactly should we do? Where does it leave the struggle for BobiWine to exit the country? We have hundreds of political prisoners who felt comfortable and felt gumite for as long as they know that he's around. But now that he exited the country, what is their fate? What is their, what is going to be their fate if he left? He handed over power of presidency to Dr. Lina Zedriga. Is Dr. Lina Zedriga going to work tirelessly to ensure that the political prisoners are freed? What do you make of the NUP foot soldiers who've been in prison for 5 years, some for 4 years, others, are in prison for no defined charges, but because of their love for BobiWine, because of their love for the struggle, because of their love for change, they are in prison. And now here we see their leader fleeing the country. Is the government, under the president's prerogative of mercy, going to pardon these people? We do not know. Is NUP ready to go into negotiation? I welcome you. If you would like to join this podcast to discuss this with me, I welcome you. Today is my first time on this podcast, and I wish to continue exploring how it works. So still looking at the exit of BobiWine from Uganda, and looking at the mission, what the mission was. The real mission was to oust the dictator, as he always says. So, are we still continuing with the fight? Are we still continuing with the mission? Should we go back to normal life? And, some of us who have thinking heads, like, think of more concepts and campaign slogans for the next election. Because it says, musigale nga muli gumite. So what does musigale nga muli gumite mean? Because when we were getting deeply into the campaigns, we were told that this is the chance that we now have. Mukanonye, mukalonde, even it's me myself even came up with those slogans of kanonye, kalonde, kakumi, together with a team of fellow women. So when you speak of Uganda and the peaceful transition, are we going to achieve change through silence? Are we going to achieve change through comfort? Ugandans are so much into a comfort zone. Looking at countries that have hosted dictators, do they achieve that through, the rhetorics of their leaders? Is he becoming so rhetoric? Is he becoming more theoretical than practical? Because Ugandans are tired. Ugandans need change. Ugandans want to see transition in whatever manner. That's why when you tell them that by taking a particular symbol, I assure you change is coming, all you should do is take an umbrella. The gullible Ugandans go ahead to take the umbrella wherever they see, they take it, because someone very rhetoric has told them that once you take this particular symbol, definitely the dictator will be removed. Are we seeing this? Ugandans were promised to remove a dictator. Were they promised to fleeing? Is the opposition ready to fight for change, or it's ready to go into dialogue? Ladies and gentlemen who are watching me, I welcome you all. I don't know how you can join me in discussing this, but I welcome those who would like to add a voice onto this podcast. We are passionate about leadership, about policy, about diplomacy. We have seen our leaders share international platforms. We are seeking change in Uganda. We want transition of power. But the people at the front line, are they playing their role? Are they genuinely into the struggle? Are they genuinely into it? Do they genuinely want to host the dictator? Or they are playing Mickey Mouse games on us? Oh, they are playing Mickey Mouse games. They are playing hide and seek. They are playing dilly dally on Ugandans. So, what is my take on this? That as the leading opposition party leader, asks Ugandans to remain, to stand 10 toes down as he flees, I think Ugandans now should open up their minds. Ugandans should come back to their senses. Ugandans should sharpen their eyes, I should say, just like the Nigerians usually say. Okay. Question and answer. Yeah, I'm still studying this. Overlay. Yeah. Okay. So, my people, thank you so much for continuing to watch. I am still dissecting the issue of BobiWine exiting Uganda, and yet Ugandans had so much hope in him. Ugandans fell, should I say, gullible. They are so thirsty for change. They are craving for change. Ugandans want change by all means, to the extent that just one individual promising them that if you take a particular symbol, we shall definitely have change. I will be the president and give me members of parliament. And, and Ugandans did that. At the end of the election, if your election is rigged, what must you do? What must you do? In the first place, to fight for your victory. Secondly, to mobilize Ugandans, to ask them to genuinely fight for their victory. It's so appalling that, the alleged fight for victory is like a joke. It's like a joke. Do we have real opposition in Uganda that is willing to take on the mantle to genuinely fight? To genuinely fight? Because there is fighting for freedom, ordinarily fighting for freedom. But then there is also fighting for freedom with action-packed. So we need an action-packed mode in Uganda to have a transition in power. We need to do whatever it takes. We do not want an opposition leader who promises A, B, C, and then does the opposite. The voters are so genuine. The voters are real in fighting for change. That's why they have even surrendered their brains. Ugandans no longer use their brains. They don't think anymore. They do not ponder anymore. They use emotions. We are using emotions in Uganda to vote. Why? Because they are so desperate. Ugandans have become so desperate for change. That's why you see, if someone wakes up and tells them, it's me, unleash everything, leave everything to me, say, leave everything to me, I will handle, I remove the dictator, you vote for the umbrella and leave the rest to me. You defy the court, claiming that, there's no justice in the courts of law. Yes, we all Ugandans agree that the, judicial institution in Uganda has dented its sanctity and supremacy. Nonetheless, let the case be filed. I was sharing with one of the prominent and high-profile politicians here in my country, and I asked them that, whenever you are disgruntled, I guess you must file a case, an election petition in court. But here we have a situation where the president says, I'll not go to court because I don't expect justice and fairness from those courts. And then we have, the Secretary General of the same party giving a directive that whoever is disgruntled should file an election petition in court, now that even the victors have been gazetted. So I really don't know where the opposition stands right now, because other opposition players were trampled over by this same person fleeing. We need to wake up as Ugandans. Ugandans, stop customizing the struggle. There are so many intelligent people out there who can lead you, zealous, determined, and even more tactical, who can lead you through the struggle. So there is not one fish in the sea. Open your eyes to other alternatives. Open your eyes to other options. We need change ASAP. But if you think that we are going to, achieve change by getting all our eggs and pouring them in one pot or in one basket, then we're on the wrong path. Politically, we need to have different, centers. You know why Iran is still standing? Because whereas they had a supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, Alatoya, who is now the late, the country was not, customized to that one person. To the extent that even after his demise, the military operations are still going on. They are still fighting for their sovereignty. They are still standing up. They can still say, no, we shall not be trampled over. So in Uganda, if we want change, if we want transition of power, we should stop creating, customized messiahs. We should stop that. We're in a situation whereby all other political actors from the opposition were crushed. They were crushed. They were trampled over by a certain human being, by government. Like, for example, like Dr. Besigye is in prison. We don't know when President Museveni will wake up and, on a good day and release him. So now I implore women of this country, Uganda, to please do not sit back. Do not lay back. This is our country. We should not all sit back and wait for one person who has gone, outside the country. We wait for him to come back, for the struggle to continue. No. All of us, even us who are here, we can do the same. What a man can do, a woman can do. But I call upon Ugandans to please welcome the various political actors who can do exactly and even more. The absence of one man does not mean that everything should come to a standstill. No. Pursuing for change must continue by others leading. So the problem actually is not even with these leaders. The problem is with you Ugandans yourselves. I don't know whether they should even create a vaccine to vaccinate each and every Ugandan. Ugandans are so gullible. They have failed to open their eyes to reality. They are leaving the struggle into the arms of one human being. And you will not achieve what you're looking for if you think that it's only one human being. Olava, even Trinity has three. In the name of the Father, if the Father fails, you run to the Son. If the Son is delaying, you run to the Holy Spirit. I don't know whether you guys get my point. That there are three in one. But if the Father is not responding ASAP, you go to the Son. If the Son is still busy fighting for other people, then you go to the Holy Spirit. You ask the Holy Spirit for the gift of wisdom, for the gift of this, for the gift of this, for the gift of the other. So, dear Ugandans, men, countrymen and women of this country, I wish to let you know that we should not customize the struggle. We should not customize the struggle. Ugandans, stop thinking that there is only one man left on the island. Stop thinking that there is only one man that can lead you to the promised land. Even Moses gathered all the Israelites, led them through thick and thin, but it was Aaron that fulfilled the mission. The earlier you open your eyes to reality and get to know that you should not leave the struggle to only one person. Let's wake up. All of us should wake up now that he's out of the country. Are we going to stop speaking about politics? Is that what he promised you? It's not what he promised the country, but it's what he has done. And now, so what? Are we going to keep grumbling that he's gone out, his family is out, his children are out, the entire family is out? Now, what about you? Your son is in prison. Your daughter is in prison. Your sister is in prison. Your relative is in prison. Are we going to leave them rot in jail because BobiWine fled the country? So, dear Ugandans, if we really have love for our country, we should stop thinking that one man has said do ABC and you all do that. We should all agree as Ugandans, this is our country. You will continue being misled. You will continue being used. You will continue being, led into disarray. If you don't start thinking for yourselves, dear women, we can stand up and lead this. Keeping in the queue, waiting for approval all the time that a certain group of men must sit down in a certain corner in a boardroom or in a certain office and approve you, that is going to, keep us, it ruins people's careers. Because if you disagree with the decision that has come out of that particular boardroom, they'll consider you as defiant. They'll consider you as yaya, as an ally to the government, even when you're not. When you disagree with some of the things that they're doing and some of the ideologies they're putting on table, and you disagree with them, then it means you are a kasa. But yet, in actually, some of these things we told you earlier, and we were hurled with insults. So I call upon all the women in politics, all the women who can speak, please, let's come back and own this. Let's come back and take the mantle on. We are the mothers. We are the proud mothers of our nation, the backbone without which it can never stand. We wake up, we wake up at the clock of dawn and feed this nation with our brains, with love and joy. We care for our baby Uganda. Mothers, daughters, all women everywhere, stand up and embrace your roles today. Our brothers and sisters are in prison. Our relatives are in prison. Others are in the grave. And you all sit back and say, BobiWine afulumya eggwanga kati tumanyi kiddako kakati naawe waati ekiddako okimanyi naye weesiriwaza. Mulekerawo okwesiriwaza bannayuganda. If you think mugwammwe gwa kujjanga babagambe mulonde bwe muti nammwe ne mumala galonda te ne maani mutwasamira, we shall go out of the line. We shall lose our temper. If it means going out of the line to instill sense in some of you, we shall do it. We shall really do it. Because, anyway, today was my first podcast. I was trying it out to see how it works. Thank you so much for those of you who passed by. I am so happy that you came by. So let me. I am so happy that I've started it today, and I will be doing it so often. Yes, I'll be doing it so often. We'll be speaking about different and particular issues, news, politics. We'll be speaking politics very often. So thank you so much for passing by. I'm going to continue upgrading this podcast. I want a serious interaction between you guys and I want us to create, a serious studio between you guys and I. We speak about matters of national importance. We speak about the dictatorship in this country. We speak about the status of the opposition in this country. We need the opposition, genuine actors, to come up front. But we need you Ugandans to have some sense in you. Do not demoralize people who want to be on the front line. You find someone buying data of 500 shillings and, yapping and shouting. Who told you that there is only one intelligent person in the opposition? That's not true. Ugandans, please embrace the new and, opposition political players. These things of back and forth, elections are done, nothing is done, someone runs to hide 1, 2, 3 days, comes back, and you've forgotten. Tulituuka ddi gye tulaga? So the earlier we come back to our senses, the earlier we get back on the drawing board and realize, what do we really want? Do we want the NRM to continue running us for the next 50 years, or do we really need to force them out of power so that we can have a difference and change? Respect for human rights. This is the country that has gross violation of human rights. Gross violation of human rights. All institutions have lost independence. There's no institution in Uganda that is independent. All institutions work under a word from above. The judicial officers, have all lost their heads. They've traded their think tanks, their heads to the supreme leader. And Uganda, by there, has also developed a supreme leader. So this is going to be my podcast. I'm going to continue modifying it. I'm going to continue upgrading it. I'm going to continue making it better, such that we continue discussing various issues. I love you all, guys. Thank you so much for passing by. My name is Joan Dule. I am a politician in Uganda. I contested for Woman Member of Parliament. I have contested twice. I haven't had the opportunity of going through, but we are still pushing on. We are still fighting. I have come to realize that there was, a lot of force being put together to fight me from all corners, from all angles. Joanne is too intelligent. She cannot, if she comes here, she will, supersede this, she will do this. Since when did being intelligent become a crime? And people put their effort together to fight an intelligent woman. Now, what should I, if I am intelligent, is it my crime? It's not. I was created that way. 1, 2, I went to school. It's not my crime that I went to school. It's not my fault that I was born intelligent. But you realize, someone told me that, John Obogende, you're making sure stop revealing your intelligence. Your intelligence threatens people. My intelligence threatens people, but you gentlemen are equally intelligent. How can you? Uganda is the only country where people come together, create cocoons to fight intelligent brains. You will never move forward. Never. Uganda is the only country where the intelligent are fought to the core. Whereas other countries are looking out for the intelligent brains, sponsoring them. If need be, they could even change your status just to bring an intelligent person into their country. Uganda is the only country where fools sit to fight an intelligent brain. It's so appalling. It's so absurd that they will tell you, she will do this, she will do that, she will do this. And your intelligence terrifies them. Your intelligence threatens them. Then how are we going to move forward if you want to create a team of only goths? The intelligent ones are beaten down. They are crushed. They are trampled over. If you speak, they pull you down. If they sense an iota of shining, they pull you down. They never want you to shine. Never. It's a shame. She speaks too much. If we bring her here, she will do this. We can't work with her because she's too quick in thinking. She's too creative. She's too this. She's too that. She's too vocal. She's too that. And that alone gets you hated. Uganda is the only country where the intelligent people are hated. And they are hated by a group of people who are intellectually incapacitated. In Uganda, to get somewhere, you must be a fool all through. If you are speaking a lot, they silence you, you keep quiet, you stop speaking, you stop being active, you trade your intellect. So, talk about this country. Hey, guys, I'll be telling you what's going on every day. Every day. So, as we prepare and as we yearn so much and as we desperately yearn for change, ladies and gentlemen, men and women in Uganda, there are certain things that we must do away with. There are certain things that we must drop. There are certain things that we must, leave behind. Time can run so fast. Yes, we are working in brutal times. When you speak, government comes for you. It is so, the funny thing of it, if you speak, government comes for you. But even within the opposition, if they realize that you are somewhat intelligent, they connive against you. Then how are we going to run an opposition? If someone said the opposition in Uganda works for Museveni, are they really wrong? When the opposition eliminates the characters that the NRM government does not want. Instead of the opposition embracing unique characters, they connive. Another issue, I'm going to speak about two issues that I had forgotten. Money. I know that money runs the world. But you see, the speed at which money is changing hands in the opposition is unbeatable. It's untold. I have seen opposition players coming on camera and speaking different. What they do behind camera, actually what they preach before the camera is not what they do behind the camera. What they preach before the camera is not what they do behind the cameras. People have been hurt. They have extorted money from people. They have sexually abused women. Sex and politics, are always like this. That I mean, we should not rule out that fact. But you see, when the two of you decide to agree that we are going to do this, I'm going to do this for you, then do it. Do it. Extortion, exchange of money in the opposition. Opposition is now for sale. Opposition is now for sale. If you must triumph in the opposition, you must be the highest bidder. And you think Moja Kujako Museveni? When Museveni and his team decided to fight the regime, the Obote regime, they were selfless. They were selfless. They sacrificed. They had to forego money. They had to forego so many things. But you see, in the opposition we are having today, luxury is the first priority. The highest bidder is given priority. You don't have enough money in the opposition, you're not given a place. No matter how good you are, no matter how capable you are, you're not given a place. The opposition is for sale. The highest bidder is given a priority. It's so alas. You want to fight Museveni, but you are so indistinguishable with Museveni and the team. You want to change faces, and not the module, and not the governance module, and not the actions of the dictatorial government. The opposition has to be revamped. And I'm telling you, we are going to wake up and say, we are leading this. If those who have given a chance to lead in the opposition are playing dilly-dally, they are also beginning to commit atrocities, financial atrocities on people. Felony, hoax, lies. We are so demoralized, by the way. We are disappointed. We were genuine on the cause. When we thought what we followed was real, we thought what we believed in was real, we were misled. And we are not allowed to speak. If you speak, you are branded as Yaria. You get. So it's a shame. It's a shame. Another thing, I want to implore Ugandans to please, what happened to humanity in you? And to the fellow, and to your fellows who feel that, they are disgruntled about how they were treated in NUP. Other than finding someone in bed, dead, other than someone taking poison, other than, someone committing homicide or suicide, someone running into depression, let people pour out their heart in the way they feel that will relieve them of the pain. Stop hurling insults to people who have come out to speak negative about how they were treated. If someone knows that they were treated, the act of being treated unfairly exists, even though they don't have evidence. But within them, they know that the act of extortion was there. The act of being, mistreated was there. Let them speak about it. So because someone now, for instance, like me here, I can call someone in my house, we speak about, various things, we enter into agreements and different deals here and there, and we do not draw, an agreement, or we don't have a written agreement. We have, a gentleman's agreement. So many things are done, especially in politics, in those opposition parties, they are done on a gentleman's agreement. But now, because someone was a gentleman, they trusted you, they believed in you, you swayed them and they never expected you to disappoint them. Now they come out to speak about the disappointment, to speak about, the astonishment, to speak about whatever it took them through. You diss them, you trash them, you hurl insults at them, you troll them, you want them to be taken to rehab, you come out and say they are lying. Because they don't have evidence does not mean that the act of mistreatment was there. Does not mean that they were not mistreated. If they don't have evidence to adduce in court or to file a petition against you in court, then let them use any other means to speak about what they went through. You want to silence them. We want to fight Museveni for silencing other people. But this also team that you want to believe in is doing the same. If someone comes out to speak about a certain foul that was committed by them, immediately they send some goons on social media wanting to silence you. When you are mistreated and you take a reaction, nobody even cares about the reaction, the cause of reaction. They focus so much on the reaction. What happened to emotional sensitivity? What happened to humanity? What happened to, the humane sense? If someone feels they were unfairly treated and they took on a different course, why don't you look at what is the cause of her taking a different direction? Why would you focus on the different direction he or she took? They focus so much on the reaction. Do they even ever think of the cause of the reaction? Every country is speaking about, the conflict resolution tactic that Museveni is using amongst his people and on international and foreign policy. We are a group of emotionally insensitive people coming together, lamenting they want to fight a dictator who is awarded an accolade of being a conflict resolver. You don't want to resolve conflicts and you want to host a conflict resolver. How are you going to do that? How are you going to effect that? So, we are opposition, but we shall not sit back and fail to speak about, the transgressions committed by the opposition leaders. We cannot achieve the mission. We cannot achieve the mission of removing a dictator when we are acting indistinguishable. We do what the dictator does. We do. There is no internal democracy in a party that is claiming to be leading and wanting to host the person who has painted the picture internationally as though there is democracy in this country. He's a very good player. How are you going to beat him when he knows how to play the game of democracy, but you even have no art? You hoodwink people into vetting. People waste their time, take books, read, prepare for vetting. You bring out fake results. We need a public declaration. For someone who was the best, and those who feel disgruntled about the results of the so-called fucking vetting, don't want to speak. They don't. By the fact that you cannot speak about it automatically means there is no internal democracy. One, it means you're believing in a more complicated and dictatorial group because you can't speak about it. People are dying. People are boiling inside. They can't speak because next time they will not be given a card, because next time they will not be given a flag. We love this party. We love the opposition. Someone was commenting on my page and they're saying, John, please come back to this team. We know you are a human rights defender. I am. And hell knows I am. I am not an oppressor. Whoever knows me knows I am a human rights defender. But I do not want to see people nga banyigirizibwa naye nga tebasobola na kwogera. Tebasobola. How are we going to host a dictator when group gye tulimu okiwulira tesobola na kwogera ku bijiruma because they have a small god leading them? Now the small god has disappeared like Abachwezi. What is next? And Kawesa comes out to speak about his pain. None of you could even feel his pain. Byonna n'olaba agasajja agakulu gajja ku TV ne gatwasamira. Aleeta obujulizi, aleeta obujulizi, aleeta obujulizi, aleeta obujulizi. Do you think Kawesa is stupid? You think Kawesa does not know what he went through? Kawesa does not know his money was extorted? Wakitagamba nno Ken Kalisa ye yazitwala. Lwaki Kawesa tagama nti nno Nyombi Tembo ye yamutwalako ssente? Why is he so particular? You see well-dressed men in coats and, ties for them because they're on the safer side. They achieved what they want because it's not them. Can you feel for this man? Yes, he's trained for, selling because why people are being thrown into selling their property, going in for bigger loans, because you sit with these men and they promise you. Perhaps he was promised something big. And in his senses, in his thinking, he decided, let me give it a shot. Life is about taking risks. He took a risk for something he believed in. We do not know what they spoke about behind curtains with a certain group. Kawesa knows very well what happened behind curtains between him and a particular group. Nobody is focusing on his pain until he's thrown in rehab, until you find him dead in bed. That's when you will know he was serious about what he was speaking about. And you think that we are serious on a mission of removing a dictator? Hell no. Hell no. The dictator is 100 feet ahead of us. We've been mistreated. We've been in prison for the struggle. You see the chicken hawks who have no idea what it means to campaign. Chicken hawks who have no idea what it means to be in an election. Chicken hawks who have no idea what it means to be in prison. We've been imprisoned because of the struggle. We've lost high-profile connections because of the struggle. We've lost friends. We've lost business. We've lost jobs because of the struggle. And then you find a chicken hawk coming up to speak about your reaction. Never even asking, why is Joan Lay or why is another person reacting the way they are reacting? Can they ever focus on the reaction, rather on the cause of the reaction? Before you question my reaction, can you ask yourself, what is causing the reaction? Can we whine more? Be patient. Be patient. Be patient as now. Hey! People have been ripped of their dignity. People have been dehumanized. People have been imprisoned. People have lost a lot. People are smiling on the outer, but the inner them is grieving. So don't tell me that people who want to oust the dictator cannot even sit down to resolve internal conflicts. They can't. Oyo Kawesa singa badde wa NRM. Excuse me, singa bakulu ba NRM bamuyise to look into his problem. Naye wano kye bakola nga bakusindikira chicken hawks on social media to attack you such that you feel less important, to silence you, and they have an indirect way of silencing you by sending these goons on social media to attack you, humiliate you, and troll you. But you see, when it comes to people who know how to speak and fight, some people have said, no, I will not give it in to the trolls. So we still have a long way to go in opposition. We must learn to resolve internal conflicts within the opposition. Since when did disagreement become a ground for hate? Since when did disagreement become reason for dehumanization? You dehumanize people. You crush people's career just because you had a disagreement. It's a shame. It's so appalling. We must be in this, we must be able, to distinguish the opposition from the tyrants. I am opposition. I am. And you all who know me very well know very well that I am. But there are times when you question yourself whether you're on the right side, because looking at weighing on what they are doing, beats your understanding, breaks you down, crushes you, crushes your belief, crushes what you believe in. It's so absurd. We do not want to lose hope. The people who have become, olaba ne mu America Trump bamugambako. Do you not know Trump bamugambako mu America? Trump bamugambako ebyaddala. Naye wano ojja n'oyogera ku nsobi ezikuliddwa, and people are like, shut the hell up. They want to shut up everyone. How are you going to oust the dictator when you are doing exactly what the dictator does? So it's high time opposition came back on the drawing board. Let's reunite. Let's come back together and find a way forward. Ate namwe abawooza muno mulimu opposition, mubeere genuine. Stop being opposition and then being and yet showing people you are opposition, but in actual sense you are Museveni's cult of opposition. It's been 1 hour. Thank you so much. I love you guys. It was my first time to be on this. I've already bid farewell to you, but then things keep coming up. It was a good try today. My first time to be on the podcast. I'll be right back, guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Joanne. I can't see the names of those who are watching. I would have known whether they're from Uganda, whether they're from which country. My name is Joanne, one of the strong opposition women, strong opposition, opposition woman. I'm in the opposition. I love to see my country change leadership. I love to see my country have, transition of power. I don't care whether through action pact, whether peaceful, whether dialogue and reconciliation, but we want change and leadership. That's what we are yearning for. That's why some of us are thrown in jail. That's why some of us, are brutalized for fighting to have change. But when you get still fought by the same people in the opposition, then you ask yourself whether the opposition you are in is real or it's a hoax. Take very good care of yourselves and each other. Yeah, let me modify this and make it a routine. I want to see interactions. I want to engage with you people. I don't know how to even, someone needs to teach me how I get to engage with my audience. I don't know whether they are messages. I'm going to modify and upgrade. I love you guys. Take very good care of yourselves. My name is Joanne. I love you. I'll be catching you every morning around this time. And we talk more.